The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Tuesday, July 28th. It's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning, and once again, this is C.A. Newry, and I shall be your host for today. I wanted to have an open line Tuesday, but there's so many things I want to talk about that I should push. So I'll push that ahead of everything, and then go to the newspaper and do some commentary on what's trending in the news. Let me get my phone here so I can read. Or should I start off with the newspaper? It's one of those days. Let's start off with the newspaper, right? The newspaper, reading The Guardian, it says $5.9 million marijuana bust. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force Police and US seized 97 bales of hydroponic weed. That's the headline, but I'm not even worried about that. This news headline says 54 Haitian migrants caught on a sailboat in the Exumas. Drugs also found on boat. I want to talk about that. And I want to have my listening audience do some laser focus. I want you to go and buy the Nassau Guardian just to see this particular article. All the other rest you can go and read, but this particular article raised some concerns for me. I'm going to read the headline for the front page, and I'm going to show you what my concern is, and then I'll go on the rest of things I want to talk about, right? It's a boat, right? And a boat pulling a smaller vessel boat. Police and Defense Force officers intercepted a sailboat in the Exumas yesterday with 54 Haitian migrants, 2 bales of marijuana, and 10 kilos of cocaine on board. And just reading the front page of it is this by Latonya Roberts, Guardian staff reporter. Police, Defense Force, and U.S. agents yesterday intercepted a sailboat in the Exumas with 54 Haitian migrants, 2 bales of marijuana, and 10 kilos of cocaine on board. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force said that on Sunday, United States partners provided updated intelligence regarding a vessel suspected of transporting migrants and illegal drugs in the vicinity of Ship Channel Key and Beacon Key. The Defense Force dispatched the HMBS Madeira along with the U.S. air assets and personnel from the Exuma Key Land and Sea Park. And it continues on court page A7. You could go and read that. Now, this is the reason I want your concentration and to go and get the newspaper so you can see this particular picture. I am used to Haitians smuggling into the Bahamas on Haitian sloops. We know what a Haitian sloop look like. They are built a particular type of way. It's a, for lack of a better word, it's a Haitian cultural shipbuilding industry. They build a boat in a particular way. A Bahamian Coast Guard Defense Force officers can identify a Haitian sloop passing through the Bahamas. In our recent years, usually the Haitian sloop is intercepted in the southern part of the Bahamas. We haven't had any Haitian ship landing in a while. I'm not sure if you noticed that. Either the U.S. Coast Guard sight them when they go in on the inside or outside of the Atlantic Ocean, right? Sailing up to go to the Florida Keys, or we intercept them near Acklands and Crooked Island. But usually they never make it 200 miles in the Bahamas anymore. That doesn't happen. I'm not sure if you realize that. So I wonder what happened. How did they miss it? How did the U.S. Coast Guard, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, who has a base there now, and 2 ships patrolling that southern area, how did they miss this particular sloop? Then I realized this is not a Haitian sloop. Look at the picture. This is not a Haitian sloop. This is an American sloop. Those high-end American sloops will cost millions of dollars for people that sail around the world. And the reason why it was not stopped intercepted because the Defense Force, assumed it was a U.S. sloop sailing through the Bahamas who have only thing you stop them for maybe permit license, whatever it is, depending on when they dock. Right? So my concern is the immigrants who are coming into the Bahamas are no longer using their type of vessels. They now have access to American crafts, which go undetected by Bahamian officials because we said we are a shipping nation. We used to American high leisure. This is one of them leisure boats. This is one of them high-end boats sailing through the Bahamas. We said, well, leave them, let them fish, or let them sail through. They're not stopping, whatever it is, right? Leisure craft, I think they call that. And picture Exuma where they stopped this boat, right? In Exuma, all kind of these high-end boats are parked going back and forth to Exuma Keys. This is what expected. We see this boat, we think money. So, man, let these tourism sail through. They ain't fishing, they ain't pouching. The boat too small for that. This is one of those boats, they pleasure crafting, and they could stop and dock in the Exuma Keys, so they spending money. So there's no need to go on board. So our Defense Force officers more likely saw them in Atkins and Crocodile area and said, let those tourists continue to sail. Thank goodness. You see where they say United States partners provided updated intelligence. United States got intel that there's some suspected drugs on that boat. And they call our Defense Force officers, hey, we get intel that there's drugs on that boat. But if there's no drugs on that boat, more likely that boat was going to land on either in Exuma, Eleuthera, wherever they had to have the communities. There's going to beach it, right? And those people's going to just disappear. And of course, when I post that theory on, I got inbox where people saying that the people who were on this particular boat were people who were deported from the United States and were deported into Haiti, and they find financing to smuggle themselves back into the Bahamas to go back to the United States. That's where with the 40 people who were on board. These were people who used to live in the United States. See, that make it scary. And of course, Bahamians had that theory going around. So when the United States started deporting these migrants in mass, these people would try to come to the Bahamas. But now we're seeing it. We're now seeing American boats are being used to smuggle Bahamas, and more likely they're trying to get to the United States, but they'll be here for a while, right? How do we detect this new entry when we are a tourist-based country and we don't normally suspect, interrogate, or board these types of vessels? That's a concern. That's a concern where the powers that be, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and the Coast Guards, need to find why they people, Americans, this is an American boat, so this boat is registered more likely under American name. That means the boat traveled from the United States and gone to Haiti, picked these people up, and then let them come through the Bahamas to go to the United States. That is a concern. We need to start having conversations about that. We have some phone calls here now. I'll let them speak on so I can actually read this. I got a letter from the Junkanoo community I plan to read into the record, right? So let me do that. But let's go to the first caller. Guardian Radio AM, you live. Go ahead, caller. No, oh, I see. I see what happened. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Newry, what's happening?
I read your man.
Listen to me. Where exactly was this boat coming from?
Well, I don't know where it's coming from. I know where it's heading.
Yeah, it was heading here. But what I want to say is, you said the boat was a U.S. registered boat?
It is a U.S. registered boat that is U.S. made. It's not one of those Haitian sloops that we know of. It's not a Haitian sloop.
Okay. So
that's why I know you have issues seeing, but you need how people describe it. It's one of those high-end sailboats.
Okay, but listen to me. You know, with the Americans the other day got caught. They got caught with guns.
They get caught with drugs.
They said get caught with drugs.
Yeah.
So now, the Americans, we don't import we don't make no guns.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have no large quantity of marijuana and cocaine made here in the Bahamas.
Mm.
So the Haitians are bringing in the drugs, and the Americans are bringing in the gun. Is it fair enough to say that?
I don't know.
I mean, according from what we are seeing.
What we need to do is police our area. That's what we're responsible for.
Would we be doing that,
It's
because
not.
if we wasn't policing our area, those 54 would get in.
No. Thank God for the U.S. Coast Guard. They would have gotten in if the U.S. Coast Guard didn't intervene. Mm-hmm. They was here. They didn't make it.
They was done up in Exumas.
They did an Exumas. The U.S. Coast Guard say, hey, we hear intel. They have drugs on that. We ain't want no drugs come to the United States. Y'all go and intercept that. They wasn't looking for no migrants.
If it was only the people, you think they would say anything?
I don't know. I don't know. Because they didn't say a third of our population is Haitian. They said they belong here. Don't worry about that. They belong here.
In closing, allow me just to say a happy birthday to my godson. I know he listens to your show because he's a Fox Hill boy.
Good.
Warren Davis Jr.
Oh,
His birthday is today. Warren Davis Jr., not the daddy now, not the old man, the young boy. He's 11 today. So happy birthday, Junior. I know his parents always have their station listening to you.
I appreciate
Fox Hill Day, I want to see you there, Brother Newry. I want to meet you in person this weekend.
But you can't see me.
Somebody will bring you to me.
And you know how dark I am. I disappear in Foxhill.
Don't worry. I see some people like Bumble them. I show you in dark as Bumble them.
The Bumble, we used to call them light skin back in the day.
In the back of the day, you must be talking with the 50s, early 60s.
That's right. That's how dark they is. I try to say.
Right.
I different complexion altogether.
Yeah, Bumble is a good friend of mine.
Good.
You can take that joke.
Good.
Yeah, but Fox Hill Day this weekend, man. Let's come out and support the Foxhillians, man, because, the chairman, our brother Warren Davis, is doing a good job up in there, man. So let's support him this weekend, Fox Hill. Come out.
I appreciate it.
And then the holiday, Fox Hill get 2 holidays, Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday?
They can't be. Tuesday is Fox Hill Day.
Yeah. We got to get the raccoon south.
Yeah, you got to go by St. Paul's for that.
Yes, you got to go by St. Paul's for that.
And get that switcher and you straight. You come back with your little greasy bike and thing.
Yes.
All your little thing in it.
Yes.
But you know how it go up at Fox Hill.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I can read this ad right now, so just for you saying that, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Good. So Emancipation Day, John Canoe Rush Out on August 3rd. So if you're going to see the John Canoe Rush Out, it's starting at 12:15 a.m. That's August 3rd. So don't miss out, right? Bring your cowbell, bring your drum, bring your whistle, join the fun. Let's keep the tradition. The group's coming out because they boycotted the last time. After they boycotted the last time, I got vexed. Let's see if I find out the groups. Yes. The group lying up for the Foxhill John Canoe lying up. Coming out first will be Roots. That'll be on Bernard Road. Coming in out second will be Genesis. And that'll be on Foxhill South. And I want to say thank you to... did Genesis rush? I'm trying to remember that group did not rush. Anyway, coming out third will be the world famous Valley Boys that come from Bernard Road. Coming out fourth, I see the original Congos. And coming out fifth, I see the Saxons. See, there's a number of other groups. I ain't calling no other Valley Boys who missing, right? But there are 5 groups coming out on Foxhill Day, right? And there are Roots, Genesis, world famous Valley Boys, original Congos, and Saxon Superstars will be rushing out on John Canoe. So starting at 12 a.m. On August 3rd. That's a Monday. That's Monday, August 3rd. That's early in the morning. That's letting you do that. So let me transition right to this letter to the editor. Say, letter to the editor. What is happening with the John Canoe Authority Bill? Is the minister stalling for the John Canoe 242 talk show host and the former JCNP? The minister stated in the last meeting with John Canoe leaders that she would come back to them on the 1st of July. It's now July 20th. This time last year, registration for John Canoe groups would have already been done by the ministry before the John Canoe season, which officially begins by April or May, a period which unfortunately has already passed. The seed funding by the ministry also by this time would have been prepared for groups after the budget. At the end of July, going into the month of August, groups are expected to receive seed funding. But as it stands, there is no mobilizing as no mobilizing as of yet. While all of the outstanding are in question, so are the concerns of the Junkanoo community about the position of the Junkanoo Authority. This as of June, and the board isn't even in place or discussed as yet. The fact of the matter is that the key persons who know the ins and out for all parades are not there anymore, and not, we understand, even wanted by the new minister. Some say maybe her thinking could still be that of the former JCNP and other conspirators who were said to have campaigned against Brave Davis administration. With this, we also understand that major problems are brewing behind the scenes, and if experienced persons aren't there, it will be a cause for different Junkanoo parades nationwide. It is said and believed that the persons who are coming with the current Minister of Culture are displaying unprofessional behavior and flaunting vendettas with the previous Junkanoo coordinators, formerly ministry senior staff and NJC body. As a matter of fact, it was this NJC board, along with the former ministry staff, that fought relentlessly to form the Junkanoo Authority and to now have the same JCNP operatives buttering up the new minister for her favor to become the JCNP again on the quiet. Hopefully, with the right guidance, their hard work will not go down the drain and they will protect Junkanoo, which was the cry of the Junkanoo leaders to the Brave Davis administration. With so much at stake and what has been achieved with the Davis government, Junkanoos all agree that it would be a mistake to seriously consider not having the director and her staff at such an uneasy time to oversee Junkanoo because of their hatred against their own statutory government-appointed board. The former members of the NJC, Mr. Andrew Pinder, Kishlane Smith, and Dr. Dwight Marshall, who were the management team. The bitterness of particularly the director and assistant director manifest by them trying to sabotage Junkanoo last election. It's being said that some persons are still awaiting their payments from Junkanoo. Unfortunately, if she doesn't have her way this year, team will make their sabotage a reality. This is how we, the Junkanoo leaders, see Junkanoo already spiraling if the authorities don't get a hold on the Junkanoo for Nassau, Freeport, and the Family Islands. What is outstanding? 1. A meeting with the Ministry of Culture. 2. Payment to the Junkanoo groups. 3. Registration for all Junkanoo groups. And it's signed a concerned Junkanoo leader. And again, this is a letter to the editor that was written on, did it give a date? It didn't give a date. Let's see. It didn't give a date. I thought it had a date. And there's a response to this, by the way. Someone actually wrote a letter in response to that. And I'll read that right after I finish talking to people who are holding. Go ahead, caller. Guardian Radio AM, you're live. Caller, you there? Hello? Let's move to the next caller. Guardian Radio AM, you're live. Caller going once. So you can call me back. Let's read these texts and then I'll go to the response that the person made to the letter to the editor. CA, you make me think I know too much or you know too little bit. Talking about illegals, they don't come on the boat anymore. They come by plane. Their airline is at the foot of Hawkins Hill under immigration. And the JP that distributes fraudulent documents is right next to the immigration on the hill. And if you have information about a JP who's doing fraudulent documents, I recommend that you go to the police or immigration right upstairs, and I'm sure they'll deal with it. But if you just send innuendos and you don't have no information at all, you need to stop it. Stop it. There's no need for that. Just stop it. Actually, this text says, thanks for bringing up this issue and its associated problems. Let's read this text here. Let's see. You forget that Adrian Fox was... Okay. I wonder if I could read that. Let me read it first. I have a serious problem with all of these people performing, in my opinion, treasonous acts. They say, sorry, my bad, then we celebrate them for having lots of money or appoint them to the highest offices in the country. I was shocked to learn about the number of drug dealers in the last election. I don't know about no drug dealers in the last election. There was a story in the Tribune 2 years ago that interviewed a Bimini boat captain on allegations of widespread human smuggling. He said everybody do, and anybody can get in it. Just get a loan for a boat. That's where we is. Everybody know, and plenty people getting boats. Texter, I want a boat. So if you know how I can get a boat, right? Good morning. Why should the Haitians smuggle their way onto those rickety boats now when our national airline makes it easier for them to come through the airport? You haven't seen anything yet. Now that the President Trump are now deporting them to Haiti by the thousands. Good morning. Okay, this is not me here. This is earlier. Let's make sure all these are read before we go back to the phone lines there. There's one more here. LOLCA. For numerous decades, fellows on the street been telling people, illegal Haitian migrants or our cousins and sisters and brothers from the south on the west side of the island of Hispaniola have long been smuggling weed, coke, guns, and other drugs. But for multiple decades, everyone kept ignoring the warnings. The talk on the streets, just like how they been ignoring them when they warned them about alleged drug and gun smugglings and racketeering high-ranking police and defense force. But thank God for America. Our beloved big brother America is catch them and expose them sometimes when they feel like it. Even if America have to physically arrest some of the bad apples themselves, God bless America. That's what that text goes. But I know our police force and defense force have been interdicting a number of boats and smugglers. Every day we find out that we caught some people. So I hear you, Texter, but I think that what you're insinuating is not necessarily true. There was a story in the Tribune. Yeah. Okay, we read that again. Talk to the Bimini boat captain. He seems to know how to get a loan for a boat. I need to talk to that Bimini boat captain, or you can inbox me. Give me a number so you can hook me up, because I need a boat. I'm tired of one. And I'm tired of have to go on the beach with all of y'all. I want to go on the Family Island Beach. Okay, let's go to this caller first before I start reading this response to that letter to the editor. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
How you doing?
Mr. Newry?
Hey. Sparky, hey. I guess you got disconnected. Okay, it's the anonymous concerned Junkanoo leader who recently submitted a letter appears to be more interested in creating confusion than presenting facts. Yes, the Junkanoo community is awaiting further communication from the minister, and we look forward to that update. However, the suggestion that nothing is happening behind the scenes is simply untrue. This year followed a general election, which naturally resulted in a slower transition for government businesses. That is not unusual, nor does it mean that preparations for Junkanoo have come to a standstill. Contrary to what was suggested, what I have noted since having mine handled is that the registration forms have been available and continue to be available. Seed funding is being prepared in the usual manner and will be issued once the registration process is complete, just as it has been in previous years. The established process has not changed because I, unlike others, have common sense and ask these questions. What is disappointing is the attempt to convince the public that Junkanoo is somehow in crisis when the facts say otherwise. Anonymous letters built on speculation and political narratives do nothing to advance Junkanoo. Since Mr. Ellery DeVoe's name continues to be associated with these discussions, I will say this plainly. In my opinion, his tenure as a Junkanoo coordinator has been the worst And many Junkanoo, myself included, do not wish to see a return to that style of management. We believe it failed to meet the needs of the Junkanoo community. And we believe it failed to meet the needs of the Junkanoo community, and that it is time for new leadership, new ideas, and a new direction. We do not want to be back under the thumb of Fast Eddie and King Vulla. We don't want to be faced with Kishleen Smith. She has had many of us contemplate never doing Junkanoo again. If the minister does anything with sense, it would be to banish those names called. Junkanoo deserves progress, not a return to old personalities and old battles. Those who generally care about the future of the festival should focus on supporting its growth instead of attempting to undermine confidence in the current administration through anonymous letters. The Junkanoo community deserves facts, transparency, and constructive engagement. It does not deserve manufactured controversy designed to keep a few familiar names in the spotlight. The future of Junkanoo is bigger than any individual. It's time to move forward. Signed, a Junkanoo leader who refuses to be misled. So that's two different point of views. You could call and give your opinion on both letters, and your opinion on the 54 migrants on this high-end American sailboat who's sailing leisurely through the Exuma Keys, and also drugs was found on the boat. Go ahead, caller. Guardian Radio AM, you live.
Mr. Newry.
Hey.
Why does your producer keep cutting me off?
I don't know if my producer cutting you off. You there? Hello? I wonder if my producer is cutting you off, because every time you start, you disappear. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. This text says 2 vessels reportedly slipped past the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and entered Bahamian waters carrying illegal drugs, according to headlines. It was only after U.S. authorities alerted Bahamian officials that the vessels were intercepted. See, that's what I noticed. If that is accurate, it raises serious questions about our maritime surveillance and border security. It's a reasonable question, but our Defense Force officers are the ones who are making the arrest. Or to the rhetorical question some may be thinking, did Policy Number 1 want them to get away? Well, I see where you're going there, Dexter. So this text, I got a couple texts. Tribune, April 19th, human smuggling charges dropped. Why we can't say Adrian Fox was charged with human smuggling when he was. His charge was pleaded down to operating a boat in a dangerous manner. Interestingly, it dropped the charges in April 2021. The U.S. prosecutor praised him for his exemplary cooperation. The 2024 U.S. indictment cited evidence gathered in operations from May 2021. Just a coincidence. That's what that texter is saying. And this headline, let's see if I could read this headline so I could say where the headline come from, because I don't want to get myself in problems. Hold on, I'm just waiting for it to open up. Did anyone open up? Okay, to open it. I'll read the headline. Okay, and this texter sent me the headline. It says, from the Tribune, 242, any date? April 19, 2021. I'll read what the headline he's trying to promote. It says, Adrian Fox, all human trafficking charges dropped. Pleading guilty to endangering lives in operating boat. Attorney, offense petty. Client moves on after decade. So the texter wanted me to read that headline. And since he sent me the headline, I read it. That's the Tribune who wrote that, right? Leave that. Let's see, anything else they want me to read before I go to the caller? Caller, prep that caller there for me. Let's be enlightened. When you see our police seize drugs, that's their drug shipment they're securing. Where does the drugs go after they get it? And how do guns that were disposed of end up killing other people years later? And Texter, I do not know anything about that, Texter. I see what you're alluding to. And I cannot say any of that is true. I know the drugs is seized and put inside that storage facility, and as the case progress, they have to present the evidence to say this is the drugs here. So it got to be stayed out. So I cannot say that anything is go missing. So I hear you, Texas, but no, I cannot say that is true. Anyway, we're going to take our first commercial break. You can join me on the other side, where it could be 11:45. You know what happens at 11:45. Anyway, Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry. We'll be right back.
Wait, you know what's going down tomorrow?
Nobody, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Wait, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't bark down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you on?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody. I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, him and these boys coming for me next.
All right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did I boy?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the calls go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Just sign in and have a seat, please. They'll call you in for your x-ray shortly.
That's why they call it a waiting room. You won't have that problem at 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiologist can conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
No budget for a vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer escape gets you round-trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash, thanks to Percy's Island Games. Brand new luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz, too. All you need is your passport. We got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media. Remember, you must be 18 or older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th, drawing August 14th. Taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
The Blue Heart is the global symbol for human trafficking. It represents solidarity with the victims and a commitment to ending the exploitation of human lives. See the Blue Heart, know the cause, take a stand.
Attention island game players. Percy's pension plan is now accepting applications. Deposit $25 and you are officially in the running for a weekly salary of up to $1,000 a week for a full year. Applications close September 8th. Apply now at theislandgame.com.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com. and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
And welcome back to Guardian Radio AM. And of course, if you listen, as you were listening, you heard the promotion that you could win a trip for 2, including hotel, car, luggage, and $1,000 cash. All you need to do is have your passport, right? Just get a Nassau Guardian newspaper. Fill out the Nassau Guardian entry form, drop it in the entry box at the Nassau Guardian in Oaksfield, and tune into the Nassau Guardian Radio, at least the Guardian Radio, and follow the Nassau Guardian on all social media platforms for your chances to win. That's the Guardian Media Group Great Summer Escape Giveaway. Deadline to enter is August 12th. That's next month. August 12th. Join us on August 14th. And of course, it's 11 45. That means, I have to say, attention all Island Game players. Percy's pension plan is now accepting application. You know what you need to do? You need to deposit $25 and you are officially in the runnings for a weekly salary of up to $1,000 per week for a full year. Application closed on September 8th. September 8th, soon come, people. Application closed on September 8th. Apply now at theislandgame.com. And let me read this text, because this text texted to me 3 times, right? It says, "Hi, Mr. Newry. I love your show. I absolutely love your show." See, I'm quoting what they're saying, right? Say, "Please read this just how I text it and tell your," I can't say that word, texter. I can't say that word. But it meaning you, Kermit. Hold on. I can show it to you afterwards. You say, "Tell your producer, stop cutting Sparky. We make the show. The show belongs to the people." So they say, I must read that. I know what they mean. Kermit don't cut people. I'm not sure where you get that. It's been a bad connection. Things happen, man. So read this text. Say, "Seeing these petty-minded, backward-looking clowns." My Lord, everybody insulting people today. Are quick to do refreshers on the likes of Dr. Talk about Carlos Reed again. Now they're talking about Adrian Fox again. Okay. Clown, yeah. So I can't read that texter. You're defaming people. I mean, yeah. You're defaming people, texter. Be nice. You can talk around those things, you know. And some people I know you ain't gonna never like and stuff like that. And I understand them, because I just catch feelings all the time too, right? But there are some. I'm not sure if you notice that. It seems, like I say, it seems. I can't swear about it, but I so far I've read about 4 different family islands who have been having load shedding, hours and hours of blackouts, right? I thought the blackouts was a Nassau thing. I thought the blackouts happened because there was a thunderstorm and the thunderstorm hit some kind of BPL device and it caused in the blackouts. But it's clear that it's load shedding. That excuse about lightning and thunder and thing, that has happened. I'm not saying that didn't happen. But what we experience is load shedding. That means this is going to continue all summer because y'all people are burning too much electricity, current. The air conditioner is on, so we're going to expect a lot of blackouts. And the headline saying businesses are hit hard as power outages can be a hot summer. It can be a hot summer because it's hot. And everyone, you can't be telling behemoths not turn on the air conditioner, right? Because it's hot. It's not just like, oh, I hot. I need to fan myself. I'm talking about so hot type heat. And you can't tell me, Mr. Government, oh, you got to turn off your AC. I got to keep on my AC because I can get sick. That's how hot it is. It's hot that I feel violent. I feel a rage. And my AC is keeping me calm. So the problem now is a national problem, and our government needs to solve the national problem because we can't be having the light keep on constantly off. Like Harbour Island, I feel sorry for them because they light always off in general. No administration seems to be able to fix Harbour Island problem. Because I've been to Harbour Island 4 times in my lifetime. I hope to go this summer, and all 4 of the times I've been to Harbour Island, that island never had no light. I always go there when it's darkness. People outside, right? I'm not sure what's going on with that island, but that island don't have no electricity. They be lying to me because I've never seen that island with any electricity at all. And places like Eleuthera is losing electricity. Places like Abaco is losing electricity. And it's losing electricity because we in the Bahamas are unable to generate enough power. That's what the demand for power we have now, we can't maintain it. We can't make it. So we have to expect to have a lot of blackouts. And I'm praying, and that's why people hoping everyone join me in praying, that there aren't any serious storms to come to the Bahamas anytime soon, since we're in the hurricane period, because this can be a hot summer. And I ain't faulting people who have the air conditioning on because I know how hot it is. It ain't no average everyday hot. This heat vexing. This heat is making you angry. This heat is making you don't want to like politicians. Let me read this. Say Saul of Tarsus became Apostle Paul We applaud men who contribute to the uplifting of our society. Dr. Adrian Fox is an uplifter. Yes. Okay. Let's read this text. So, Newry, you are absolutely the best. Say the heat makes you violent. I feel your man. You don't understand the heat, man. It makes you when our politicians speak, your whole face just get built up like storm, and all you want to do is onto them. That's how hard it is. So when they come and start talking foolishness, your hands get itchy. You know when your hand say, "I want to do something." So I understand. And this is following up to the conversation or the phone call I had yesterday with a gentleman called in rage. He said he spoke to someone in this administration, in the government, and they said they could look into him getting his land. He's squatting on some land, right? Some government land. It's to squat on own government land. You got to be on the government land for 30 years. But this administration has been clearing up land for a number of people. So apparently he was promised that this land title is going to be cleared up for him, and he was told to secure the land. There was a dispute over what secure means, and I don't think the gentleman understood and appreciated the word secure, but he secured it in his own way. He built illegally on the government land. And someone in the government come and bulldoze what he built illegally. But he had a document. The document said, we may give this to you in the future, so just mark it out. So we will consider to see if you're able to get it. We ain't sure yet, but mark it out so we can know this is the piece. It ain't yours now. But we said we can see what we can do. They're doing their investigations. And he moved forward and said, man, I can bill on this. And the powers that be come say, no, I ain't tell you to bill on it. I didn't say that because we might have to give this to somebody else. And of course, he vexed. And in his passion, and the lady called back afterwards saying, you have a vexation of spirit. And too many Bahamians have a vexation of spirit that they see in government after government, administration after administration, are not looking out for their best interests. They see other people come here to the Bahamas and getting ahead, and they're getting angry. They tired of protesting. They tired of writing letters to the editor. They tired of going to the MP and say things ain't working. And the people say they hot. And when they hot, they just get violent. And I was concerned about the verbiage. Because I tried to tell the lady and say, man, miss, you can't be violent. You could row. What you talking about, right? We can't condone it. But there are too many Bahamians who are getting hot and bothered. And they start talking, I call violent talk. And that is a concern, especially with this mental illness going around in intervention. We need someone to come and speak. I see the ORG, Responsible Government Organization, gives some suggestion on what administrations should be doing to get voters' confidence. I don't believe these people care for it, right? So I appreciate always what ORG does, but I'm not sure if our leaders don't care to listen. This text says, I agree with the other texter. It is obvious what you're all doing to Sparky is disgusting, especially on worldwide platform. Pettiness and childishness should be avoided. But I ain't doing nothing. I right here and I reading. So you can't be accusing me and I ain't doing nothing. I hear you. CA, I don't know if the old retired Defense Force senior lieutenant gentleman and his retired force chief petty officer buddy is still alive. But long time before migrants allegedly started using plane flights, more than 17 to 18 years ago, these elderly retired Defense Force men once told a group of us that they had long believed that they need to somehow find feasible ways with the aid of new technology to start scanning sailing yachts, cabin cruisers, small freighter vessels, and cargo boats, because those two retired Defense Force elderly gentlemen strongly believe that the illegal migrants down south and their smuggling had perhaps switched to using other seacraft means beyond the expected traditional old-time sailing sloops from West Hispaniola. Looks like the old retired Defense Force men were right. They have that American boat. And we don't search American boats unless we think they smuggling things or smuggling things or taking our fish. So they just sail right up the chain So and now that we see now these American sloops and not the Haitian sloops, we need to find a different way on how we police that area. Okay? So Bahamian mix up forgiveness with consequences. You can be forgiven, but your sin may disqualify you from position or reward. Cain was forgiven for murder, but he carried a mark for the rest of his life. We seem to believe that once someone says sorry for egregious treasonous acts, we should give them the highest seat in the land. No. Our Constitution also says so. A person convicted of a crime cannot hold office. Consequences are basic societal principle. And I hear you with that. Let's go to the caller there. Guardian Radio AM, you're live. Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Morning, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Oh, good, man. Last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
A letter was in the Guardian, and the title, I think, it caught everybody's attention. It says, "Nobody is coming to save you." Did you read that?
No, but I'm interested now. Tell me about it.
Go and find that letter.
Mm-hmm.
See, because I think a lady, right? Who I think she is 52 years old, right? So was getting upset, right?
Mm-hmm.
It occurred to me that that lady was born 1973 or afterwards. And I think she has a right to be upset in terms of the promises made, especially the promises made in 67, where, we were like Israel and our leader was Moses, right? And we crossed over the Jordan. Now, after you cross over the Jordan, right, it means that all the manna stopped. And now you are in the land of milk and honey. And you're supposed to be able to fend for yourself. I think our mistake as citizens and voters is that we have made the politicians our new slave masters. We go to them for everything. Contracts, whatever, appointments, jobs. Even if our child is misbehaving in school, we go to have him straighten out a teacher. You are having a good conversation here, Mr. Newry. I hope you keep on the track, man.
I do my best, but I appreciate you.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. I see the Immortals Junction Group membership drive, eh? That's interesting. I might as well read it. But if you want to become an Immortal member, this is a time to go and apply for that. They're looking for dancers, cowbellers, and drummers, horn blowers. So that's a vibrant group growing. So especially if you live in that community, I encourage you. Something the caller just said, nobody is coming for us. And I'm going to look for that article. And I had a flashback about a opinion piece was written some time ago on why the slave trade continued for so long. And it was saying that there was no nation of strong nation that had a naval fleet to come for the Africans who were kidnapped out of the various sections of Africa. And I know I started a series recently about the making of the Bahamas or becoming a nation. What's the difference between a nation and a country? And I think a nation is groups of different people coming together for one common goal, which is development of its country. And I think that's what we need to start teaching now, nationhood, that we need to make sacrifices, that we have common loftier goals. I came from some kind of famous song, I think. We all have some kind of common loftier goals that even though we're different, we all striving for one agenda. And I think that's what is one of the issues that we in the Bahamas are facing. We have issues on how we are to become a nation, or too many of us do not understand what a nation is, right? We all have our personal agendas, this capitalist thinking even though we're a socialist or modern socialist country, that we all in our different silos trying to get ahead. And because we all trying to get ahead and don't have a common goal to say we going to be a nation, that is stopping our progress. Because our hospital ain't supposed to be like how it is. No? Our schools ain't supposed to be how it is because we as a nation supposed to come and say, no, this ain't happening. We can stand right in front here. You see you with your car, we ain't gonna let your car move with your nice driver because we as a nation said it ain't gonna happen. But we ain't no nation yet. Let's go to this caller before I go. Guardian Radio AM, you live. Go ahead, caller. Caller, you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Go ahead, quickly.
Mr. Newry?
Go ahead, sir.
Can I say something now, please?
Quickly?
Yes, because I don't know why your producers...
Give me a couple of seconds. Let's go to the next caller there, Kermit, please. Kermit, cut the whole show an extra minute. A whole show. I have a whole minute to Kermit. I can take the next caller. I still have a minute. I can take that next caller, Kermit. This has been Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry. You have a wonderful day. Tomorrow I have guests. Have a wonderful day.
Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.